I'm Crystal of Crystal Sews and Stuff, and today I wanted to share with you my haul from my sewing and knitting adventures in New York City this January. My husband and I traveled up to New York on January 11th, and we stayed to January 15th of this year, 2018. So on the first day, we came up on Thursday, we just stayed overnight. And then the next morning, I went fabric shopping in Harlem. So I got two fabrics while I was in Harlem. I got on the train, I figured everything out, and I got on the train. And the first place that I went to was Yara Fabrics. And the man was very nice at Yara Fabrics. And I bought some blue pebble like fabric with blue leaves on it. I really like it's an Ankara fabric. The second fabric that I bought was from Carter Imports, and it's a beautiful red and yellow fabric that I would like to use to make a beautiful dress. Then I traveled into Brooklyn. I went back for lunch and met with my husband, who was at a conference, and we ate lunch. And then I went back on the train. I went to Brooklyn, New York, and I tried to go to one fabric place called Beautiful Fabrics, but when I got there, they were cold. They were closed, and it was cold and rainy. So I said, well, skip that. And so I decided to visit String Things in Brooklyn, New York. And there I went and I picked up some yarn from Asylum Fibers, and it is this strung out. It's called Strung Out, and it's on the Aaron weight yarn, and it's a beautiful, pretty, like rainbow colored yarn that that I'm gonna probably knit a hat with. And the next, and then, but the owner, Felicia, wasn't there, but I got to take a picture holding her little sign that says, "Bye, Felicia." So, and I thought that was really cute. I heard about String Things from Christy Glass Knits channel. And while I was in Brooklyn, I made sure to stop by. So, and then that night is when we went to see Chicago that Friday night, and it was a wonderful performance. So the next day was Saturday, the 13th of January, and I went to the Subway Storm. Christy Glass Knits, she organized a get together where a lot of knitters would come and get on the subway all at once and knit on the subway. And we took all these pictures, and I'll post a couple of the pictures over here. I got to meet Christy Glass, and I met Gigi of Gigi Made It, and Stephen B was on the train. It was a lot of fun. I got to see everybody, and it was just really nice meeting a lot of the people that I follow here on YouTube in the knitting community. Then I went to Vogue Knitting Live on Saturday, and I got a bunch of yarn. I didn't mean to buy that much, but I bought a lot of yarn, and one of the first places I went to was called Delicious Yarns, and I bought their speckle sport weight yarn. I bought 4 skeins in blueberry mint because I want to make a sweater that calls for sport weight yarn, and I really like the the white with the blue speckles. I figured it would go a lot with jeans and other things when I make up this the sweater. The next thing that, and I also bought some sweet chunky yarn from them. It's a chunky weight she showed me a pattern for a chunky weight chunky weight hat that I want to make. The next place I went to was Backyard Fiberworks, and I bought 3 skeins of prairie yarn in the colorway cerise. And I also bought the I Knit New York book while I was at that stand. And they also threw in some stitch markers. And I bought this cute little shawl pin that looks like a giant safety pin from Backyard Fiberworks. Then another stand that I went to was Molly Girl Yarns. I discussed this in my last video, and I bought about 6 skeins, well, a lot of skeins, maybe about 6 skeins of yarn from them in the colorways in Rockstar DK, because the sweater called, the cardigan calls for DK weight yarn. And some of the colors that are in it is called I Think I Love, Walk This Way, Single Ladies, and All About That Bass. I also bought some yarn from Mayak, who and I met Michelle Wong there, and I bought the Gal Cal kit. And here's the kit, and this is the cow. And but I bought the longer version. She has, this version is the shorter version, but they also had one for a longer one, and this is for the longer version because they couldn't find a small one. So I said I'll just get the big one. So this was the next thing that I bought. I also bought a beautiful shawl pin from Crafty Flutterby Creations, as well as knitting bag with Winter is Coming, and the yarn called Dragonstone. Dragonstone. So those are some of the yarns that I got from Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones. I also bought a loom pom-pom maker. Loom is a pom-pom and tassel maker. And also I bought the pom-pom trim guide. I also got the pom-pom trim guide. She threw that in for free because I told her it was my birthday weekend. She was really nice, the owner of Loom. I also got to meet Stephen West, and I bought his book about shawls, and I took a picture with him, and I'll put a picture over here to show you. He was very nice, and he has some really cool shoes as well. So that's all I did on the Saturday at Vogue Knitting Live. And after that, I met for lunch again with my husband, and then I went back out to the garment district, and I went fabric shopping there. I bought some. First, I went to Lauren Trimmings, and I bought some boning in white and black. There's a couple dress patterns that I have that call for boning. One is a Gertie pattern for a dress, and one is a jumpsuit by Mimi G. So those are two patterns. I don't know what colors I want to make, so I got white and black to go with either one of those. So I bought some boning in New York. I also bought some pretty buttons from Pacific Trimming, and they have every kind of button that you could ever want in your whole life in that store. So these are some really nice buttons that I bought to replace some buttons that I bought this really cute red, like trench type coat I got from the Goodwill, but I don't like the buttons that it came with. So I bought those buttons to replace the buttons on that coat. I also went to Cut Fabrics, where I bought two pretty jacket fabrics and a yellow and black cotton print. I also went to Silk House, and I bought some very pretty pink silk fabric, as well as some jersey knit fabric. The last store I went to in New York was Move Fabrics, and I bought some gray pink floral. It's mainly like a light charcoal gray, and with some pink and white flowers on it. And this is the fabric, but I'm almost finished the Lulu dress, and I'll be showing you that to you pretty soon in a separate video. All right, and then so that was all for Saturday. On Sunday, I went to Queens. It was so cold that day. My feet were freezing. The train was cold. It was like a 50-minute train ride, but it was worth it because I went to the Discount Fabric Center in Queens, and the people were so nice. It was kind of like a warehousey kind of feel. They had like bins of fabric, and then they had fabric stacked up in different areas. And I bought a lot of cotton fabrics there, and as well as one or two, I think one knit fabric there as well. No knit, just all cotton fabrics there. So and one like a silky kind of crepey, a sheer crepe de chine type fabric. Is orange with blue little apples on it. I thought it was so cute. I could make an infinity scarf with it, or some kind of sheer fabric top, and I could wear like make a tank top or something to go underneath it. And then after Sunday morning, after I came back from Queens, I ate lunch with my husband. again. And then I went back to Vogue Knitting Live for the last day, and I bought a little bit more yarn. I bought this beautiful ombre colored yarn by Alex Creates. And the name of the color is radioactive grapes. Oh, you can't see it. Okay, radioactive grapes. And then I also bought a knitting kit for to make another cowl, because I really like cowls, because you could just switch them out to go with your which they're long infinity scarves basically. And this is some beautiful, like there's like this mint green fabric yarn, I'm sorry, a light gray, and then a charcoal gray. And that was from the stand was called Knit, and they're based in Long Island, New York. The last place that I went to was Stephen and Penelope, which is Stephen West's store in Amsterdam, and he had a stand at the show. And I bought 4 skeins of Undercover Otter and Scumbot, 2 in Rare Exports. And they're the same colorway, even though they look pretty different because it's hand-dyed yarn. And then also Gwen. And I plan to make the exploration station shawl with those yarns. So that's it for my sewing and knitting adventures in New York City for 2018. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel and check me out on Instagram at Crystal Sews and Stuff. Thank you. Bye-bye.